Hey, welcome back to Clues by Sam. It's an easy one today. Let's try to speed it and let's see how many mistakes I do. We have a bride today. Oh, if you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it's a daily logic puzzle game where you have 20 people on the board. They may be criminals or innocents, and you gotta figure out who is what using the clues that they themselves give you. And you can try the game before watching if you check the link in the description. But if you just want to watch, I'm curious to see what all these people are today. We have an astronaut, a bride, a ninja, superhero, firefighter, or you guys are gonna make fun of how I say superhero. Um, let's start with Crystal telling us that there are no innocents in between Donna and Tina. No innocents. There's only two people between Donna and Tina, so both of them are criminal. A criminal astronaut. And we don't need Crystal's clue anymore. Now Isaac tells us there are detectives in space. I hope so. Olivia now tells us that Janet has exactly 3 innocent neighbors. Janet has 5 neighbors total. Isaac and Olivia are 2 of them, and they both are criminals, so the other ones can only be innocent since there's 3 left. And now Phil tells us to let him know if we find any supervillains, which we hopefully are not gonna find. Oh, there's a firefighter too. 2 ninjas. Donna's telling us that exactly 1 innocent in row 2 is neighboring Henry. Okay, Henry only has 1 other neighbor in row 2, which is Gus, so we know that he is an innocent. And now Gus tells us that both criminals in row 3 are connected. So row 3 is here. The only other person that we haven't assigned yet is Mark, so we know that he is a criminal. Now Mark tells us that Henry is one of 3 criminals above Will. So Henry is a criminal, and either Steve or Carla are the other one. Henry now tells us that only one of the 2 innocents neighboring Phil is Zena's neighbor. Phil shares 2 neighbors with Zena. One of them is an innocent and the other one a criminal. Is that it? And since we know that Phil has to have 2 innocent neighbors, Janet has to be the other one. Now Janet tells us there's an odd number of innocents neighboring Zoe. One of them is here. If Zena were to be an innocent, then it would be 2, and that's an even number, so Zena has to be a criminal. And now Zena tells us that Betty and Phil have an equal number of innocent neighbors. Phil has 2 innocent neighbors, so Betty has to have 2 as well. So Carla is an innocent and Steve is a criminal. Now, we don't need Zena's clue anymore, and Steve now tells us that column B is the only column with exactly 1 innocent. So Will is not an innocent either because Carla is the innocent in column B. And what else do we know from that? We know that column C cannot have only 1 innocent, and it already has Donna, so Tina has to be the second innocent here, and because of Tina, Uma has to be a criminal. And now Uma tells us that Zoe and Gus have an equal number of criminal neighbors. Zoe has 2 criminal neighbors, so Gus has to have 2 as well, and he already has Henry and Mark, so Betty is an innocent. Now Betty tells us that Carla has more innocent neighbors than Uma, and Uma has 2 innocent neighbors so far. Carla has 3, so Uma cannot have any more. Zoe is a criminal then. Now Zoe tells us that each row has at least 1 innocent, so we know that row 5 has to have 1, and that can only be Vance, so Vance is an innocent. And now Vance tells us that no one in row 3 has more than 3 innocent neighbors. What? Row 3. Oh, so that's Mark. Mark already has 3 neighbors who are innocent: Gus, Crystal, and Tina. So Ruth couldn't be an innocent, so we have another criminal astronaut. Nice. How long was that? 3:41, a new record, and all green. I'm very happy with that. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's Clues by Sam speedy one, and I hope you have a great start of your week. Let me know if you played the game, how it went for you, and I'll see you tomorrow with more Clues by Sam.